Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. For today's lesson, we will tackle about earthquake hazard maps. Earthquake hazard maps. How does earthquake mapping will help us? So, in this lesson, we will have a lesson outline for categorizing in picture the idea, knowledge at actions, pin connections, and wisdom in on use. Okay, think about it. Our world has filled different dangers, hazards, and calamities, which is devastating, in which earthquake is one of them. Okay, regarding with this topic, following question, regarding with this topic, following questions are going to come up. For example, what is an earthquake? What is an earthquake hazard map? So, your questions is in our range. Picture the idea. Earthquake. An earthquake is what happens when two blocks on the earth suddenly slip past on one another. The surface where they slip is called the fault or the fault plane. Hazard maps are developed to illuminate areas that affected or vulnerable to particular hazard. To the next slide, we have earthquake. Earthquake truly, truly is the earthquake is devastating and destructive among the natural disasters. So, what do you know about the earthquakes? So, fellow students, I know some of you know a little bit on earthquakes or common knowledge about earthquakes. So, in this follow-up, the next discussions will enlighten you on what are the characteristics of earthquakes and other infos regarding the earthquake. So, do you know there are many types of earthquake, such as induced earthquake, volcanic earthquake, collapse earthquake, and tectonic earthquake? Later on this discussion, we will tackle about on these different types and a given examples. So, first, we have induced earthquake. When caused by human seismic activity, also called earthquake activity, is known as induced seismicity. Induced seismicity is associated with industrial processes including geothermal energy, extraction, mining, dam building, construction, and hydraulic fracturing. Next is volcanic earthquake. Volcanic tectonic earthquake, or PTS, are simply put caused by a slip on a fault near a volcano. Volcanoes are often found in areas of coastal weakness, and the mass of volcano itself adds to the regional strain. Okay, next we have collapse earthquake. Smaller scale earthquakes that result from the subterranean collapse of caverns or mines. Explosion earthquakes caused by underground explosion of nuclear or chemical devices. Tectonic earthquake. Smaller scale earthquake that result from the subterranean collapse convergence in mines. Also, they have similarities between tectonic and collapse earthquake. So, next, effects of an earthquake. Surface faulting, tectonic subsidence, tectonic uplifts, tsunamis, solidification, ground resonance, ground failure, and landslide. Okay, earthquake hazard. So, um, from this point, I have enlightened you about the different types of earthquake and what is an earthquake. So, regarding to that, we will follow up to the next lesson, which is earthquake hazard map. So, earthquake hazard map. Hazard maps are developed to illuminate areas that are affected or vulnerable to a particular hazard. So, around the world are experiencing natural hazard and its devastating effects, in which particular among the destructive calamity is an earthquake. Given to its dangerous traits, we must prepare, but how? So, how you may ask, particularly as just preparing first, first aid kits and knowing the concepts on what to do during the earthquake still ain't enough to guarantee safety. So in this lesson, we will tackle on the concept of the earthquake hazard maps. In Let's us start. In Asia, which the home of the most dangerous calamities in the world, such as typhoons, such as typhoons, volcanic eruption, also mostly earthquakes, and etc. Among the countries in the Southeast Asia, Philippines is category that suffers multiple calamities during each year's past due to its geographical location inside the Pacific Ring of Fire, in which case our country is vulnerable to volcanic eruptions and seismic activities. Okay. Our country, Philippines, has 7,164 islands in total, which is only 2,000 islands are inhabitants. Philippines sits in the Pacific Ring of Fire and hosts 24 active volcanoes, 27 potentially active volcanoes, and numerous active faults and trenches capable of producing large magnitudes earthquake that can result in disaster and disrupt our life in the communities. The Philippines is divided with three archipelago, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The Philippines Fault, one of the largest strikes deep crustal faults on the Earth, strikes through the islands of the Philippines over 1,000 kilometers from south to north. The region is also characterized by active volcanism, including the well-known Mount Pinatubo and Taal volcano. Okay. Um, there are some insights of different locations of faults and trenches. First is we have the Bigan Agaw Fault is a 140 kilometers long complex active fault system consisting of multiple traces in the westernmost part of the Philippines fault zone, close up in parentheses FZ in the northern Luzon, Philippines. Okay. Here, you may see that there we have CTF or Coastal Trust Fault, PFC, also known as Philippine Fault Zone. So we have more different types of uh, types and names of different trenches and faults in the Philippines. So next we have the areas that are prone in the earthquake in Luzon. First we have Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino. Region 3, we have Aurora, Pampanga, Zambales, and Region 4A, we have Cavite, Laguna, and then Region 4B, we have, it's not included, so we have Region 5, we have Catanduanes, and to the region of CIR, we have Abra and Benguet. So next we have Visayas prone area. PBOX discussed the Central Leyte Fault forming part of 1,200 kilometers Philippine Fault Zone, stretches in some areas of Mahaplag or Moc City, Canaga, Capoocan, Javier MacArthur, Dapats, Avoyog, Boren, Leyte, Albuera, and where the crossing faults list as earthquake prone are areas stands of the Sugan. So we have all most of the well-known fault on the Visayas region. We have Bohol Fault System, region Central Visayas State, Bohol cities, north such as Dun, Calape, Inabangan, Tubigon, Buena Vista, Clarin, Sagbayan, Quitape, Trinidad, South, Maribok, Tagbiliran, to and the East, Laoy, Lobok, Bilar, and Batuan and Carmen, Pilar. So let's move on to the Mindanao prone areas. In in Cabatanga, Fault traverses east of Misamis Oriental, also Benuelva, Claveria, Tagaloan. Towns are located near to the Tagaloan Fault. White Ofon is at the Iponan Fault and the province of Lanao del Norte, which is near to Alubigid Fault. So we have 5 active faults in the Mindanao. The 5 active faults in the Mindanao, such as we have the active faults that affect in Cotabato, Malang Fault, and Makilan-Malungan Fault, North Columbia Fault, South Columbia Fault, and Western Extension Mindanao Fault. Cotabato Sinmingan Fault. Cotabato Trenches is also a major source of earthquake which can affect the region. So there are 5 active faults line in our country, namely as the Western Philippine Fault, the Eastern Philippine Fault, the South of Mindanao Fault, Central Philippine Fault, and the Marikina Valley Fault System. And thank you for listening on this discussion. Thank you again.